Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Julie and Jim Traber podcast. I am Jim Traber, along with my beautiful wife, Mrs. Julie Traber. How are you?
I'm really good today. How are you?
Good. You know, I just saw a meme a second ago that said, don't judge a man by his car or his house, judge him by his wife.
Oh.
And I thought, well, I mean, people are going to think I'm really impressive.
You are really impressive.
Well, I don't think I am very impressive, but when they see you, they think, what the heck is she doing with
That's
him?
a really nice compliment. Thank you, sweetie.
I thought that. I thought of you right away. So
That's really
how
sweet.
you doing? Good? You doing
I'm
all right?
Good, yeah.
Our fair is coming up, people.
Yes, mark your calendar.
When this comes out, this show will come out on April 13th. The next day is our fair, April 14th. And please pray for us for the weather, okay? It's going to be touch and go, so please pray for us.
We need the rain to hold off until 8 o'clock.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go to thesportsanimal.com. That's where I work. All the information on it, thesportsanimal.com. We've got 19 food trucks. We've got music playing. We're going to be doing our shows out there. You'll be able to see Al Eschbeck, who's been doing it for coming up on 50 years. You know, in August, it's 50 years for him.
Wow. Yeah.
Is that not amazing?
I mean, it's a really cool event that you get to come out and see some great musical acts, get to see all the sports animals, get to have some of the best food trucks in Oklahoma.
We have got some, whatever food you want. We got it.
Yeah,
it's incredible. So I'm really excited about
it. Now,
it.
speaking of food, we had Easter weekend this past weekend. He is risen.
He is risen. I'm with you, man.
I love Easter. You and I went to a great church service.
Yes, we did.
And that church, when we go, like for holidays, I don't know, I'm feeling more emotional, maybe because it's a holiday. I did this at Christmas, but I start weeping with the music. It's just
you can tell
so
the people we go to crossings.
We go to crossings. But they know how to put on
They got unbelievable music.
A holiday
some of the
service.
best in all the years I've been around. Some of the best music I've ever heard. I mean, they got a choir, they got an orchestra. They got people lined up across that sing. I mean, it is really, really, and they sing real music. In other words, they're not out there like banging on drums and all the crap that people do nowadays. Just play.
It soothes the soul. It's really lovely.
Yeah, it is.
But I loved that. And then we had a wonderful time at our daughter's house.
Family's getting bigger.
I love that she hosts the big holiday.
So you don't have to do it anymore?
Exactly.
And I'm telling you what, too, she is literally exactly like you.
She's better than me. She surpassed me.
Boy, I mean, she had that place doodled up. She had eggs everywhere and everything. I mean, she really did a wonderful job.
And she gets all the, like all the specialty napkins and plates. And she's far surpassed me.
She's big league.
Yeah.
No, she's a big league hostess.
She's
There's no doubt about it.
She's a great hostess. But we did the family egg toss.
We do it every year.
Every
We've never
year,
won.
It's the biggest thing. It's so much fun. This year, we have so many people that we had to split it into two groups. So they had the old folks.
We had 11 people, 11 couples. So that's 22 people. So, yeah, we lined up the old people and we played, and then the young people.
Old people because our oldest daughters were in that group, too. So it wasn't all old. But you had an interesting thing happen. You want to tell about your...
Yeah, I mean, we're playing and we're doing good because we never win. Because just frankly, if we want to be truthful, Julie's horrible at the game. But anyway...
I gave you an opportunity to switch partners.
No, I would never switch partners. That's ridiculous. But anyway, Julie throws the egg at me.
And I did a good throw.
And it's a good throw.
Yeah.
But my daughter, who is next to me, next to Julie, she lets go of her egg. And her egg is coming right at me.
She shanks it, yeah.
So, in other words, I got one egg from Julie and one egg from here, and they're both coming at me. Now, the unbelievable athletic human that I am, I caught our egg, got out of the way of the other egg, went down on the ground.
Jim dives, does a full somersault, and then hops back up. I haven't seen that level of athleticism from you since your 30s, maybe.
That was a big league move.
And then I looked around and I was like, did anybody get that on camera? and nobody was filming. You know why? Because all the old people were throwing eggs.
That's right.
None of the young people thought about
Well,
filming.
the really old people were over sitting in their chairs.
Yeah, and they didn't have a camera out either.
We got the really old, and then the young.
My dad was sitting over there with his cane and his giant
I
glasses.
asked him, I said, are you blind? He looked like he was blind. He had a cane and these big glasses. I said, look at him. Look at him, like the white Stevie Wonder over there.
He was very worried about you.
Well, I woke up the next morning and my shoulder was killing me.
Well,
'cause
by
I
that
fell.
night, you
What a move.
were starting to lock up. But I told you.
I had grass stains on me and everything.
Yeah, I said to you afterwards, I said, I think it would have hurt less to just let the egg hit you in the head.
No, see, when you're me, when things come at you, you get out of the way. You just can't stand there.
Jim's
and say,
exact words to me were, I was a professional athlete. Okay, if something's coming at my head, I'm not going to stand there and just let it hit me.
no, you don't let it hit you.
You made a serious
And
move.
I will tell you this, most 64-year-old men would have been in the hospital. You would have had to call an ambulance.
Well, I got to tell you, I was kind of turned on. I'm not going to
Really?
lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an impressive move. I was headed towards you to help you get off the ground because I
Right,
thought,
because I have a hard time getting up.
but I think it was the adrenaline of knowing you had such an audience
Popped up like that.
you didn't give it a second thought. You just got up.
And it hurt.
But you finished out the egg toss.
Unfortunately, though, I made a horrible throw the very next time.
You did.
And I threw it over at somebody else. Who was next to you? I can't remember. Somebody, one of our children or somebody. And you went over and you couldn't catch it and we were out. So we've never won the daggone thing.
What's fascinating about that game is you just never know
It's the
what
egg.
the egg is going to do.
Yeah, they're like a couple of the people throw the egg and they bounced it like 5 times and it didn't break.
It didn't break. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're right. It's up to whatever egg you get. And I tried to convince Julie to hard boil one and we would use the hard boiled one.
to cheat is what he said.
Right. I was going to cheat because we never win, but I didn't do it. So anyway, we lost again.
That was a fun weekend. We had a lot going on because we spent the night that Friday night with the Bodie babies. They're not babies anymore. In fact, you and I just watched our show because they were both busy.
Did they even talk to us
They
the
were
whole time we were there?
It was very quiet.
I think Hudson said 3 words to me the whole time.
He went to bed early. He's so worn out. They have him going to school at 7:15.
I'm going to tell you right now. It is ridiculous that they make
They
these
go to
little kids
school
go to
really
school that
early.
early. I think it's dumb.
And then
I really
he's got
do.
football practice. So by Friday, he's worn out. But
Right.
he stayed on his
He could
computer.
at least talk, though.
Then he went to bed. Well, he ate. He'll come out and eat with us.
Oh, yeah. Riley barely ate.
Kate had a friend next door, so
Yeah.
she had dinner with them.
Yeah, then she came back over and she barely talked. So it was just like you
It
and
was
me in
you and
another
me
house.
in another house. But the funny thing was,
This is unbelievable.
the dogs. They have 2 rescue dogs that are such babies. Like they're treated like babies
King
of that
and
family.
queen.
Yeah,
King and queen.
they're so spoiled and so sweet. And when Caitlin's gone, they follow me around like they know I'm interim mama now. And the little one just stays right with me.
Yeah, Junie.
So
She's a little girl.
She got in bed with us and we're all snuggled up and you came in and she's just kind of eyeing you. She doesn't know about you yet. And she was fine until you put the CPAP on.
I put my CPAP on and she looked at me and she started growling.
She stands up, the hair on the back stands up, and she starts going.
Yeah, I mean, she thought there was a monster in
And
the
then
room.
you're like, it's okay, it's me. And you're like yelling at the little pie hole. And I'm like, stop talking to her. Just turn the lights off. She was full on barking before you turned the
I
light
had to
off.
lift my arm up with the covers, and so she couldn't see me.
She couldn't see the mess.
So I was laying down, and I had the covers up so she couldn't see me. But yeah, she was not happy with me and my CPAP.
Oh, she was scared to death. That was hilarious.
The good thing is that their mattress is our old mattress.
Right.
So
it's a very comfortable
It's a
bed.
great mattress, yeah. But still, I got to tell you, man, I love to sleep in my own house. You know what?
It did make me happy that we do not have a dog anymore.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten what it was like sleeping with a dog, but I don't sleep as soundly because she moves around and she gets too hot, so she has to come out of the cover. Then she gets too cold and has to go back into the cover. So I don't sleep as soundly. You know, it's like having a baby again.
I will say this.
She's a little one.
If there is a house to stay in besides ours to be comfortable in, it would be Caitlin's because
it's very comfortable.
If you see our house, she does her house. She has done, I'm telling you, these two are exactly the
She
same.
just takes it up a notch. I'm telling you,
I know
she's
she
better.
takes it up a notch. You do a pretty impressive job, but she does other things. Like she had all these different kinds of eggs all over the house and everything. It was impressive.
She likes to decorate more than me because I know what goes up must come down, right? I don't love to. I just today remembered that I should put my Easter stuff away. I did that today.
Yeah. Well, we had a great time with the whole family.
It was
it's
a lot
awesome.
of fun.
What do we have? We have from 84 years old to 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Because little Emmett, what is he now? About 6
he's
months?
6 months. Mm-hmm.
So, we got a bunch of people. It's a good time. It really is. It's a lot of fun.
so much fun.
And then we got a brisket from our man up there in Wellston at Butcher's Barbecue, who, by the way, will be at our fair.
Yes.
If you want to come get some of their food, because their food is big league. He's world champion. And that brisket was unbelievable.
We didn't have anything left. It was
everybody was raving about it.
I kept thinking we'd be able to have sandwiches that evening with the brisket. No, gone.
No. Nothing left.
Gone.
Everybody ate the heck out of it. And then, of course, your unbelievable macaroni and cheese. I mean, we had so much food. Caitlin makes great food.
I got sick. My mom, I talked her into making her banana pudding, which I hadn't had in years. And I ate so much of it there. And then I made a huge plate of it and I pulled that out. That was my dinner that night.
You did bring it home and eat it again?
I pulled it out and ate that. And I was in heaven.
I, on the other hand, do not like to eat bananas very much, so I don't like it. But you tear that thing up.
Oh, my gosh. It's the best I've ever had. It's so delicious.
Now, while we're talking about food, we found a place here this week in Oklahoma City that is big league. Have we?
One of your listeners let you know about it. We had no idea. It's in Bethany, Oklahoma.
Angelo's Italian Deli. And I'm telling you, for years and years, I've wanted an Italian deli to come here, right? That's one of the things I missed from being back east. And he's done it. It's it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Tell him what he made.
Well, so we went over there and had sandwiches one day, but he told us while we were there that he was going to be making braciole the following day, which was yesterday. You, though, had taken off work because you were having dental work done.
That's right. I had a bunch of dental work. I still don't know what I had, but I had a bunch of dental work
have you in Norman at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so to surprise you, I called him. I got you taken care of, brought you back home, put you to bed. And then I called Angelo and I said, hey, did you make braciole? And he said, I did. So he said, I got you. How many do you want? And so I put J Pitts, you and me some aside. And then Clyde and I went over later and picked it up so you could have it for dinner.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I talked about him on the radio the day before. He said people were flying in there.
Well, when I was there, he was already sold out of the braciole because somebody came in while I was there to get it. And they said they were sold out. And he literally screamed out loud, like, no.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, I guess he had a good day. But
after I got home from my dental appointment, you put me in bed at 10:15 and I slept. You woke me up at 8 o'clock at night.
Well, Jay Pitts came over last night. We had a whole meeting, 2 hours. You were here for like 2 hours, weren't you? Close.
We were supposed to do the podcast.
Then after Jay left, I thought, well, I hope he's not dead. I should probably go check on him again.
10 hours I slept.
I woke you up and you said, what time is it? I said, it's about 8:30. You were like, what? At night? Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I got up and watched the Thunder and then went back to bed again.
Yes, you did.
I woke up at 6 this morning like, whoa, let's go. I didn't know what was going on.
You felt like a new man. You were rested.
Yeah. But that was crazy to sleep 10 straight hours like that. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Just absolutely awesome. So, yeah, we've had some really good food lately.
Yes,
Haven't
we
we?
have. We
really
have.
good food.
And with the food truck coming up, we should fast until Tuesday.
You got to come, people. It's over on Northwest Expressway if you're around here, Northwest Expressway in Wedgwood. But go to sportsanimal.com. You get all the information, I promise. So one night this week, now Julie and I love watching movies together. And we love watching movies that we've watched many times together. Like we watch The Godfather all the time, or Tombstone, or
Braveheart,
Unforgiven.
There's some movies that if they're on, we'll just, wherever they are, we'll.
Right.
But we had a special little treat this week.
One of them for me is The Sound of Music. I love The Sound of Music. If you listen to the show, you know that I love music. I love to sing. I just love music. Matter of fact, when you first met me, you thought, man, this dude's a little weird, didn't you? I like musicals and everything like that, right?
The musical thing was weird. Yeah.
You'd never met a man so well-rounded. Here in the belly and also everywhere else.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, The Sound of Music is on, and we're watching it, and
we both love it. I love it too.
It's such a great movie, and I think Julie Andrews might be the greatest singer of all time.
She's got a beautiful
voice.
voice.
It's just unbelievable. So we're going all the way through, and they're performing at the end at the festival, and then they, of course, get away, and then they go over the. And when the movie is over, right at the very end, this beautiful lady that I'm married to said these words. I don't really like the ending to The Sound of Music. I said, Jewel, it's a true story. What do you want them to do? I mean, that's exactly the Von Trapp family. They go over the mountain so that they're saved. I want you to tell me, how would you have ended it? Bunch of Nazis run in and kill them?
I feel like there needed to be a Sound of Music too. Because they leave this family with all these children totally unprepared for the wilderness.
Totally unprepared. That's one of the songs.
To go over these mountains. So they leave you with them having to go over these mountains with no town in sight, no water. There were no backpacks. There were no, water bottles. They were not prepared for wilderness.
There's no such thing as
travel.
water bottles back then.
Right. So I'm just saying, what happened to them? How did they make it? I need to see them roughing it,
They were roughing it. You see, they were carrying the one child and the other one was barely walking.
They're singing and frolicking over the mountains.
Actually, they are not singing.
That's how they leave us. So I just feel like I wanted to see the struggle. I wanted to see them reach their destination. What happened? I need to know. I guess I should read the book.
What other real story would you like a different ending on? Are there any other ones that we watched that you'd like a different ending on?
You know what? That's why I really kind of like Quentin Tarantino movies, because he gives us a different ending.
Well, because
so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he gives us a different ending to a real life story. That was better. It was better than what happened in real life.
Yeah, but he never mentioned Mansons or anything like that. So they just kind of do.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. It's the story. Yeah. Okay. But that's not relevant, because I'm not saying I want to change their story. I don't want to change the ending. I just want it to keep going. Like, I want to know what happened.
The movie was already 3 hours long.
I know, but I could have taken more. You?
Well, I love the movie, but I mean, they're going to have to write new songs. Can't just go without having songs. It's a musical.
Of course they can write new songs.
Like, we're finally here. I mean, what kind of song do you want them to come up with?
Do you not agree with me? Like, wouldn't you want to see
I think it's an unbelievable ending, man. They climb over the mountain with little kids to get to the other side.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think they're going from Austria to Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. Because Switzerland, remember, was always the neutral country. And the Nazis were taking over Austria. That was his country.
Right.
Because he sings the beautiful song, one of my favorite songs of all time, Edelweiss.
It's beautiful.
Which is the country song for Austria. So
when I first met Jim and we discovered that we both equally love Sound of Music, we were going to watch it one night with all the kids. What I was totally unprepared for was that he muted the TV so that he could sing all the songs. I was like...
First of all, I didn't mute the TV.
You totally muted the TV.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. Yeah, yes, very nice. Yeah. And then how about the mother abbess?
No, I like, how do you solve a problem like Maria?
How do you solve a problem like Maria? That's a great one.
There's so many great songs.
No, and Edelweiss is just ridiculous. I mean, it's so beautiful. And Christopher Plummer, who wasn't known to be a singer, did a really nice job.
Speaking of really awesome music in a movie, I introduced Calvin this week to Mary Poppins.
Tell him why.
So you posted it on your Instagram.
Go to Instagram, at Jim Traber. You can see the picture. Yeah, go ahead. Tell them what happened.
So my brother-in-law, Doug, it was his birthday. I was texting with him because it was his birthday. And he does this fun thing with Grok where he takes his grandchild and just makes all these wild videos with him. So he'll be like on a rocking horse, and then he'll take off and ride off into the sunset with a cowboy hat, And Calvin is obsessed with all these videos. So I asked Doug to make a video with Calvin. I'd taken a cute video of him that day. And so he made this video of him sitting out on the table outside and the umbrella takes off. And so he's flying like Mary Poppins. And oh my goodness, he was so obsessed with this video.
It's amazing. It's really
and he
amazing.
finally said to me after he watched it like 50 times, he says, "Who is Mary Poppins?" And I said, "You've never seen Mary Poppins?" And he said, "No." I said, "Come in here, young fella." So we put on Mary Poppins and
Did you like it?
He did. He got bored like halfway through. He was ready to go play. So we'll have to watch the rest later. But I would fast forward. I fast forwarded to the part where she's flying in on her umbrella so he could see that. But yeah, he was fascinated with a spoonful of sugar while they cleaned the room up using all the magic.
Oh my!
He was into it. Yeah.
Another great movie with
Another
Julie
great movie.
Andrews. Oh man, Mary Poppins. I love Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
But there's nothing better than The Sound of Music. I mean, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite old movie like that? Is Wizard of Oz? Which one would you rather watch? Wizard of Oz
Sound
or
of Music?
Sound of Music?
Yeah, I think Sound of Music.
I think Sound of Music might be my favorite old movie of all time.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
I love Julie Andrews. You met her.
I did not meet her, but I was shopping
You
beside
should
her.
have met her. You should have went up to her and
She was
said, "My
right
husband."
beside me. We were looking at the same rack or deal of sweaters, and I was just in awe. And then you called me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Julie Andrews is right beside me." And you, of course, burst into song.
Why didn't you say something to me? You should have said, "My husband loves you."
I think she heard you through the phone because she skedaddled right after that. She knew she'd been recognized.
If she'd have heard me through this, she might have said, "Hey, your husband's pretty good. Let's get him in something. Do something with me."
Exactly.
Nah, man, Julie, I just love. I love that show. That was really. It was
You know
really
who
cool.
else we love? J.R. Holmesy.
My man J.R. Holmesy. That's exactly right. J.R. Holmesy and Associates, who of course helped us so much when we had our car accident. Julie was messed up, still is, as a matter of fact. But boy, he helped us with everything. And I've said this before, I never knew lawyers would help with like doctors. You know what I'm saying? I never knew that.
Yeah. Nobody was as committed as JR was to because you kept telling him Julie doesn't complain and there's something really wrong and we can't figure it out. And he was committed to finding out what was wrong. And he got us to the right person who finally, after 6 months, figured it out. But yeah, he just helped us navigate the entire thing. Yeah. And I just don't know where we would be.
He's an amazing
if
guy.
we hadn't have made that phone call. So we hope you never find yourself in that position.
Yeah.
But if you do, or someone you love is in that position.
That's right. Somebody you know or anything. J.R. Holmesy, 405-524-1011 is his number. 405-524-1011. He's one of the top 10 personal injury lawyers in the state of Oklahoma. So if you need somebody, he is your man.
He's number one.
JR, we love him. We love him. All right, what do we got going today?
So I have something interesting I want to talk about.
Okay, what do you got?
I was Googling something. I don't even know. You and I were talking about something and I did a little Google search. And have you ever looked into Reddit? Probably you haven't. But Jay, have you ever looked at all these comments on Reddit and you see people writing in? It is shocking. But somebody had written in a question randomly about something she was going on in her marriage. And I thought, well, that is crazy to me.
That's the place to find it out there on Reddit?
Yeah. So she'd posted this is going on in her marriage. And so, of course, that was not what I was Googling, but I read this. And then I went down the rabbit trail of the advice that people were giving her. And some of it was ridiculous, but a lot of it was really good advice.
What was her problem?
I can't even remember now. But it took me down this rabbit. It had to do with the mother-in-law and,
Oh, the dreaded mother-in-law.
But my point was, it was shocking to me because I thought, that's interesting that somebody is struggling in her marriage and she goes to strangers and post something pretty sensitive out there on the World Wide Web. And all these strangers are commenting and giving advice. And some of it was really fantastic advice.
Really?
Yes. But it led me to thinking, where do people go in marriage? Where should they go? But where do people go in marriage when they're struggling in their relationship? or not even struggling. They're mad or they're frustrated or they're irked or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And how healthy is that? Like, what does that actually look like? So I thought we could talk about that tonight. I think there's probably a very vast difference between how women handle that and men. But I'm curious. You had no idea what we were going to talk about tonight. So I'm super curious to see what you think about it. But I'd like to ask you, so when you're struggling in marriage, who do you talk to?
You? I don't talk to
or
anybody.
Nobody.
I don't talk to anybody.
You just hold it in?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I don't talk to anybody. I don't have anybody that I would bring something up like that to, really. I mean, I really don't have anybody. I guess that's pretty bad, huh?
No, what I was going to say is I think it's pretty normal. I think men, maybe not all men, but I have a feeling that a lot of men hold stuff in. They just don't share things like that. I was thinking back, like when you did play golf all the time.
No.
It was shocking to me how you might say so-and-so's getting a divorce or so-and-so's, you might hear some big news and I'd go, oh my gosh, when did this happen? Like, what's going on? That would be all you knew. Like, they're getting a divorce. I don't know anything beyond that.
Wasn't there a movie or a show that we watched that happened in?
Probably a lot. Yeah.
Where the wife says, what happened? What's going on? He goes, I don't know. I didn't talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't sit there. If you think that we play 4 hours of golf or 10 hours of poker and we're talking about our personal lives, we don't do that.
Right. Yeah. Whereas women, it's totally different.
Y'all are firing it out there all the time.
And I almost feel like it's easier I'll give you a perfect example. It's easier if they're strangers than if you know them. Perfect example. There is a woman that I love to get a facial from in Vegas. I've gotten a facial from her maybe a handful of times now. Love her. She reminds me of Kristen Chenoweth. She's super Southern and fun, and she's little tiny and beautiful. She just reminds me of Kristen Chenoweth. We're from Oklahoma, so everybody knows Kristen Chenoweth around here. But it is shocking the amount of personal information that I know about this woman. Like, I know all of the struggles that she's having. I would never share that on this podcast, but she confides in me when we're in there.
But do you think she confides in everybody that sits in that chair?
I don't know. I would think if they're local, maybe not. But because she knows that I'm from Oklahoma, like, I don't know any of the people that she knows. She doesn't even go by her real name. I couldn't even tell you. They all use a fake name in there, which is interesting. Their first names are not their real names.
And this is a big time place.
Yes. So I think she feels safe that she can share things and then get my response to it. And we talk about it. Like, she'll ask my advice. Now, who knows if she takes it? But like, I can't imagine a man doing that. Is that something you would do? Like if you were getting a massage or something from another man?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. No. But let me ask you, who do you share with?
So I would say that when I was younger, I probably shared too much. I've said this before on here. I learned my lesson the hard way in my first marriage, where I would complain about my ex-husband to my mom all the time. I told her everything. And interestingly enough, my mother started hating him. You know what I mean? Just
that's the way it goes. That's what happens.
Exactly.
It's just like with you and me. If I start telling you about somebody, you start to dislike the person.
Exactly. And so she finally said to me, after we were divorced, she said, Julie, I don't know what's going to happen. If you ever get married again, please don't share all the terrible things, because you forgive them, right? You forgive him and move on. And it's really hard for me to forgive him.
It's a really good point.
And it was really good advice, And now as a mom,
you never have anything bad to tell about me.
Exactly. But now as a mom, I understand that. My girls don't have to do that to me because they're all married to wonderful men.
Yeah, but do any of them ever tell you if they have a problem?
So they've never come to me with anything big. They'll sometimes share things that are just frustrating or aggravating or whatever. But I like to think that they feel safe doing that with me because they know I love their husbands like they're my
Right.
own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try to stay, even when they're doing that, I try to stay very neutral um, with them and just give them good marriage advice because I don't want anything to come between them in their relationships,
Sure.
you know? And my mother was always that way too. She never let me know she was disliking him. She never encouraged me to leave him. It was never like that. But it was just an honest thing for her to say. She's like, you forgive him and it's really hard. I can't forgive him. So all of that had mounted up with her and that was hard.
You know what's funny is that not only do I not talk to anybody, nobody talks to me.
Nobody opens up to you.
No. I'll tell you, I remember, so I've been doing sports talk radio now for over 33 years. I'm proud to say that my show's been very highly rated, blah, 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 blah. So I've had some younger guys come to me and ask me for advice, and I'm almost like, what? Why the heck you want my advice? You don't really does it make sense? You don't really realize that you move into the level where someone might want to know something from you. I just think that's really weird to me. I guess because I don't talk to anybody or ask anything of anybody.
I think that it's very helpful. And I wrote some of these things down, like the pros and cons, like of seeking advice. And then being more specific about who do you seek advice from, especially for young couples out there who are listening to this. I was going to say I made mistakes in the past, like every young married couple, probably young girls, you get with your friends and you just start talking about things. And, one person starts complaining and then you complain, well, my husband does this, and it can turn into that sort of thing. And it's almost like a social bonding thing. And it's not healthy, I don't think that's a great situation. I feel like I learned from that after my first marriage and was better with you. But even then, I think you do have to be careful who you're sharing your personal relationship with.
I think it's terrible when men or women tell their friends about their spouse being bad. I don't like that at all. Matter of fact, I was in one of the worst marriages you could ever imagine. And I don't ever think I told my baseball players or anybody. They could tell. I mean, like, remember when we went back to my reunion?
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh no, you're not that first wife." Remember that? Seriously,
Yeah,
they came right up to you and said, "Wow, we couldn't stand her." But my point was, even when things were horrible, I didn't go up to people. "Oh, my wife is blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And if people did that to me, I just felt like it was like, dude,
go
to a counselor or something. Don't tell me about it.
Well, let's talk about why that is, because I think you're exactly right. You have to be careful about that.
I think it's bad for your marriage.
I think the reason people do it is for emotional support, right?
Right.
Like not every young couple has learned how to confront their spouse and deal with a situation, and so they're looking for that emotional support. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Just wanting some empathy of whatever they're going through. And let's just make a caveat here. We're not talking about marriage issues where there's any sort of abuse going on.
Oh,
okay?
No. We're not talking
This
about
is
that.
talking about
just marital problems.
Frustrations, not even true
Situations that
problems,
happen.
right?
Sure, yeah.
So I understand you're looking for some emotional support, some comfort during tough times, like maybe you're going through a tough time. Also the familiarity and understanding. You go to a family member or a close friend because they really know you, they know your history, and you're looking for them to validate, right? Whatever it is you're feeling.
A lot of times you're looking for somebody to tell you what to do. If you don't know what am I supposed to do?
And along those same lines, they're looking for immediate availability. So if you decide, okay, we do need to go see a marriage counselor, you've got to find one, right? You've got to call, make an appointment. Maybe that's not until next month you can get in. So your family, your close friends, they're ready and available, right? So it's easy. You don't have to make an appointment. They're there to listen.
I have never told anybody in my family about anything that's happening in my marriage. Ever.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe if I'm not talking about like saying, well, Julie and I we're having a great time. We're going to, Bermuda. I'm not talking about that.
You're talking about
I'm talking about
going
if
through
there's
a rough
something
time.
going on. I'm trying to remember if I ever talked to anybody at all. I don't think we did. You know, my brother went through two horrible marriages, and he never talked about it.
Yeah.
So maybe we're just that way. Your
That's what I'm
family never
saying.
talks.
Yeah.
Our family talks more than your family, but when it comes to that, I think we don't talk.
I have shared with my sister. I've shared things with my mother. But I try to be very careful.
Have you ever regretted sharing something?
1,000%. Yeah. I think that's why with age you learn not.
Yeah, that's maybe why I don't do it.
You learn to be really careful with sharing,
Yeah.
right?
I think what your mother said was brilliant, though.
Yeah.
Because you can turn somebody against your spouse, and then suddenly you're back together and everything's fine, but then your parent or your sister or your brother is mad still.
Well, that leads me to the one last pro I would say is that you're getting perspective from people who care about you, right? And like in my mother's case, she wants the best for me. So I trusted her with her wisdom that she was going to give me good information for me, right? But that can also cause some problems on the flip side, like you were just saying. Like, she's obviously going to care more for me than my ex-husband in that scenario, right? So there's always going to be a level of bias there, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, if there's a problem in my life and I come to tell you about it, if there's a person involved, you dislike that person a whole bunch more than I do, don't you?
So yes, however, you always say to me, you're like, why can't you ever just take my side to anything?
Yeah, that's true.
I have this terrible problem with I feel like I try to be neutral. Like I try to look at it from both sides. I guess more practical, right? So I do get upset that you're upset, but I do try to reason with you like, well, maybe they're coming from this angle.
This is what I think.
And
I
you
want you to
can't
tell me the
stand
truth.
that.
I want you to tell me if I'm right.
Okay, tell me.
I believe that you think that I'm this big, boisterous, like big, huge kind of blah, 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 blah. And I think a lot of times, I'm not going to say the word bully because I'm not a bully, but I think that you sometimes feel sorry for the other side because probably I'm beating them up.
No,
that's not true.
Sometimes I don't think you speak up when you should. That's been more likely. That's been more like it lately in some scenarios where I don't think you say enough. But having said that,
go ahead.
You are very black and white with your emotions. So you're very rarely neutral on things. You're either super excited or you just, you don't care. Or you get really hot and bothered or you just don't care. You know what I mean? You feel things strongly. So when you get upset, I do worry sometimes that you're going to maybe over something that's not that big of a deal, take it too far because you're finally going to handle it. So you've let it go, and now you're going to explode. You know what I mean?
So you're afraid I'm going to do something stupid.
Just something you can't take back, that you can't reel back in. So I want you to come to a place of be more reasonable. Sometimes you need to explode. Sometimes there needs to be an explosion.
Yeah.
But sometimes, we've talked about this. You have the same reaction if it's something minute or something big, like because you're expressive. You know what I mean? You're unhappy. And so you're expressive. And that's all I mean by that. That's not a bad thing. It's just learning to control your tone and all the things we talk about here. Okay, so we've kind of talked about why people go to their friends, their family, all those things. We get it. They're accessible. They're there. They love you. They're supportive. They tell you what you want to hear a lot of times, right? Mm-hmm. The cons are what we just talked about, the bias, taking sides, right? So
most of the time, the people you talk to are going to take your side.
Yes. So if you're talking to someone in your family or a close friend, they're going to take sides with the one that they're closest to. Like they're going to probably lean more to your side of the argument.
You have anybody in your family or friendship anywhere that would say something to you like against you? Like saying, you're just dead wrong, Julie. I think you're being ridiculous. Is there anybody in your family or friend that would do that?
Well, so I'm going to get there in a minute. But
okay.
Yes, I think so.
I'll be quiet.
I think so.
Okay.
But I was just going to say, this can lead to the person maybe not necessarily offering the best advice because they can't be, or it's not as the best constructive advice, right? Because
they're not objective.
They can create more tension, right? By being more critical towards the spouse, just taking your side and just.
See, that's bad. If they start going, yeah, you're right, then you get all fired up even more.
Exactly. Or adding on.
You never do that with me.
Adding on to it. Like, well, I saw him the other day.
Right,
and
he did this too. And,
you jump on board with it and it can get worse. They lack objectivity because this actually says research showed that well-meaning advice from loved ones can actually escalate conflicts unintentionally and reinforce negative patterns. And I thought that's true, right?
Well, I think if you're parents and you don't like the person that your child is with, then I think that subconsciously you're always going to try to find ways to get them the heck away from that person. That's what I think.
Yeah.
If you don't like them. Now, if you love them like we do, well, I mean, if one of our daughters came to you and said, oh, my God, I think you would be like, what are you talking about, man? What's going on? I love him. He's wonderful.
Yeah,
right?
I think you're being really hard on him.
Yeah, that's what you would be doing. That's exactly right. And I'm sure that's not what they would want to hear.
They probably think I take the other side too much, right?
I do too.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I tell you all the time. It's almost like whenever I get into something, you're always, I know why you're doing it, but it seems like you're always trying to say, yeah, but Jim, you know that, and then sometimes if you're really on my side, then you want me to go even further than I'm going.
I think when I get upset and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think you're right. You need to handle this matter. It almost scares you. You're like, okay, calm down. I just wanted to vent. I didn't want to.
That's right. I just want to vent to you. I didn't want you to tell you, let's go get like sticks and clubs and go beat up people. So
now here's another one that it can create a problem with privacy because it said when you start sharing your marital issues, sometimes they share that with other people, right? Once that's out there, they may inadvertently share that information with other people, and now you've got other people knowing sensitive details about your marriage. Bad. You can't control it. Once it's out of your mouth, you can't control what people know and what they say and what they share.
I wonder about all the guys that listen to us a lot, the couples and stuff. I wonder if there's any guys out there that talk to people.
I don't know. We'll have to have them write in and tell you.
Go to Jim Traber, at Jim Traber on Instagram or at Traberhood. And tell me, fellas,
just send a message.
Do any of you have like someone you talk to?
And who is that person in your life? Like, I'm curious about that because we're going to get there in a minute. You said this earlier, it can impact family dynamics, but think about that. Yeah. If your mother or your sister or your, whoever in your family that you've shared with, it can create tensions for family that affect holidays, family gatherings.
Right. When they walk in the door, they're thinking about what they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just totally affects the whole family dynamic. And it can also reinforce negative patterns because when you're venting, you're unknowingly reinforcing those negative patterns because you're repeating discussions about grievances without resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just venting and kind of bitching to be bitching, right? And there's no solution, like you're not looking for okay, what's the end that means here?
Right.
Like
how do we solve it?
How do we solve this? Where are we going with this? And you just complain all the time. You are reinforcing negative emotions about your spouse in your head, and that's not healthy for anyone, right?
Right.
Last one I'll bring up on the cons: emotional dependence and avoidance. So if you rely on emotional support from your family and friends, you become emotionally dependent on sharing all that with them. It really prevents you from learning how to resolve conflicts with your spouse. You just go and complain over here, and you're not having those necessary conversations with your partner.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I just don't think it's great to tell your girlfriend or your boyfriend everything that's going on in your marriage, or your mother or your father or your sister or your. I just don't think it's right.
So I actually read whatever you think of Focus on the Family, they had a really good article about that. And that's where I was like getting some of the information from that I totally agreed with. And they just said, don't make a habit of it. Sometimes you need to reach out with somebody. You want to know that you're not crazy. I'm not just, as a woman, sometimes we can go through periods where we feel like maybe we are being a little emotional. But if your husband says, hey, I think you're being a little emotional.
Well, then you want to punch him.
Yeah. But sometimes we just want validation that, okay, am I being crazy here? Would this bother you if your husband was doing that? I've needed those conversations before. And you don't necessarily want to hire a marriage counselor, right? But they're just saying, don't make a habit of it. And make sure that when you seek advice from somebody, that you're seeking advice from somebody that you know cares about your marriage and that they're going to try to remain neutral, right? They're going to give you good advice, that they're going to have wisdom. I think that's the mistake young couples make, is you're getting advice from other young couples that are just as stupid as you are. Like they don't know anything. Go to somebody who has wisdom. So maybe it's your pastor, maybe it's your pastor's wife, maybe it's somebody that you know from church, or just an older couple that seems to have it all together. Maybe you can just say, hey, could we go to lunch sometime? I would just love to get your advice on, life.
I would say this too. If there is someone that you talk to, every time you walk in the house, you walk into their house, it shouldn't be, so how's the marriage going? Like how's it going? What did he do now? You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that you should make it this repetitive thing of the only time whenever we talk about my marriage.
Yes, right.
I mean,
that's what they're saying, that it's you don't make a habit of this.
Yeah.
And then it said if you need a third party, it has to be the same sex, okay? Guys can't be talking to another woman about their marriage. That's a really unhealthy dynamic.
Or a woman
and
talking
vice
to a
versa,
guy. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
But it has to be an individual who can remain detached, a pastor, a qualified counselor, a trusted friend. But make sure that trusted friend, I do love that if you can find somebody who's older, has more wisdom than you do, maybe who's been through a similar situation. How did you get through it? You know what I mean? And
I want to say, if you're just joining us here on the Julie and Jim Traber podcast, we're not counselors.
No,
we're just we're a couple that's been married over 30 years, and we've been through a lot. We've been to two different counselors. One of them passed away, unfortunately. He was a wonderful man, and then the other one was on here. You should go back and look at her. She's amazing, Shelley, and they were huge for us, weren't they? I mean,
we've also had pastors in our life through the years that when we've been really facing some tough things, that they stepped in.
But both of the people we went to see were faith-based. Both Bill and Shelley.
Our counselors, our pastors, it's always been faith-based.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And I did want to say one other thing. I don't know personally, I've never tried this, but Focus on the Family had an interesting resource that I didn't know about until this article. And it said they have staff, trained therapists on staff. You can call that number and they do free consultation. They do free therapy, not full therapy, but they'll talk to you if you're really going through a tough time and you just don't know where to turn. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I did want to share one thing. We have a pastor. We've even talked about maybe having him on one of these podcasts. It's a really good friend of ours. And he actually married two of our daughters. And I'm telling you, he did something in the ceremony that I thought was so beautiful. He had everybody that was there witnessing them getting married stand up and agree, say out loud, I agree to do everything in my power to support this marriage and this relationship. And I'll never do anything to cause a problem there.
I love that. Yeah.
And then he had us all pray together over them. And I thought that was a beautiful thing, that we are there as family and friends to support this marriage and this new family.
That's right.
And to encourage them, right?
Yeah.
So I loved that. And I think that when somebody comes to us for advice, whether that's our children, whether that's another young couple, or I think it's our responsibility to not just listen and tell them what they want to hear, but to truly look at it the way God looks at it, where obviously we're going to do everything in our power to encourage them to work through this and have a beautiful, wonderful marriage, right?
Yep.
And so I take it so much more seriously now when anyone decides to share with me about their relationship, whether it's a friend or my girls. You know, there's nothing more important than that, like supporting that, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I totally agree with you.
So that's my encouragement out there for people listening is if you've gotten into that unhealthy dynamic with friends where you just sit around and you complain about your husbands, I don't think it's a healthy headspace.
It's terrible.
It's not fantastic, right? But I do think that when you do need some help and some support from a trusted friend, make sure that that's somebody who loves your husband too and cares about your marriage and is going to give you good advice.
Totally agree. You know what that leads into? Rob's Ranch. Because let me tell you something, there's a bunch of people that are out there hurting from addiction and they don't want to get help. And people might tell them they want to get help. There's all the different dynamics, but you have to want to get help. And if you want to get help, Rob's Ranch is the place. By the way, Christ-based.
Yeah.
Okay? It's all done with faith, and it's amazing. I had 2 different men call me this week, or message me on Instagram and say, Jim, I'm really struggling. I hear you talk about it. One of them's already there. The other one goes in tomorrow.
That's wonderful.
One of them played baseball at OSU.
Gives me chill bumps.
Where I played. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, everybody is out there. People are struggling. They really are. You just don't, some of them you don't know.
But you know what is so cool? I don't think we say this enough. I have so much respect for them getting to that point where they're saying, I can't do this by myself and I'm going to get some help.
Yep.
That's a brave thing to do.
Hard.
It's really hard. You know, I think too many people worry what other people are going to think and that it might make them look weak. And they end up sacrificing their family, their relationships.
Everything.
And I have so much respect that those guys reached out to you and got the help.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to make a change.
One of them told me that he lost his wife and he would love to get her back. It's the love of her life, and he's ruined everything. So, but you don't ruin everything because God will always help you again. And Rob's Ranch will be there for you. So robsranch.org. Now, if you're going to go to the fair, we're going to be selling our T-shirts.
We're not
for the
selling
fair.
them.
Yeah,
they're free with a donation.
Right. You have to give at least $5. If you have 100, great. If you have 10, 5, whatever. But we're going to be doing it, and there's going to be a little
But you actually get to meet Jeremy. So we've talked to Jeremy. He's been on this podcast. He's going to be at the fair. So, yeah, you get to meet him too.
We love Rob's Ranch. I love you.
I love you, sweetie.
All right. Thank you to everybody. Don't forget about our YouTube page, Julie and Jim Traber Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and like and tell everybody about what we're doing here. And we'll be back again next week, God willing, with another Julie and Jim Traber Podcast.